It's so easy in this day and age, much easier than any other generation, to decide what it is you want to believe in and then do a reconnaissance Google search after the fact for a study that you can point to as a reason why you're doing it. It's so easy to have this bad faith that Sartre talks about, where you don't believe in what the most compelling position is, but one that's convenient for you to believe. We tell ourselves a story that we want to hear so that we don't have to do the hard work of having difficult conversations with ourselves. Sartre thought one of the most common types of bad faith, one that he saw firsthand all around him during his lifetime, is when people tell themselves they have zero options about what they can do. Sartre talks about a hypothetical waiter who hates his job. He goes to the same restaurant day after day, hating his job, not feeling fulfilled. But whenever he thinks about applying for a different job or asking himself the difficult questions that would come along with that sort of life choice, he just tells himself the same thing. Look, I'm a waiter. Always been a waiter, always gonna be a waiter. My father was a waiter, just like his father before him. I'm never gonna be able to try to do anything else because this is my job and I need the money to survive. I might as well just accept it. I'm trapped on this unfulfilling hamster wheel for the rest of my life. Now, Sartre would say that this is absolute nonsense. Your essence isn't determined by what your father or your grandfather did. It's not determined by a few overdue rent notices in your mailbox. You are a free individual that can choose the meaning of your life. You can do anything you want. The money and the rich family heritage of being a waiter aren't preventing you from doing anything. You are preventing yourself. Sartre talks about how people do this a lot with relationships too. You know, someone will stay with someone for a couple years. They'll ignore all the telltale signs of the two of them being fundamentally incompatible. And when they wake up one morning and they realize how unhappy they are in the relationship, oh, well, I could never leave them. We've been together for 10 years now. Oh, so you should waste another 10 years of your life? Sartre would say something people do all the time is they avoid making these kinds of difficult life decisions, desperately trying to avoid that temporary short-term discomfort of contending with the freedom that they have at their disposal. So they tell themselves one of these stories of bad faith. And what they end up doing is putting themselves through long-term agony in an attempt to avoid short-term discomfort. You shouldn't be ashamed of using this bad faith. You shouldn't get down on yourself if you're 50 years old and you realize that bad faith has controlled you for most of your life and you feel like it was all your fault all along and you've wasted your entire life. No, just be free. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you next time.